Good evening, members. Jared Grifoni, for the record. You've heard some of these speakers talk about their concerns, legal concerns, as well as educational concerns, with the enumerated powers in the federal Constitution, as well as the Florida Constitution, and your powers as a local school board. Under the Florida Constitution, Article 9, Section 1, guarantees the adequate provision be made for a uniform, efficient, safe, secure, and high-quality system of public schools. It also talks about the school boards having the authority to control, supervise, and operate those schools. None of that would change regardless of what happens with this resolution. If you put it on your agenda for next meeting, if you support it at your next meeting, it's not going to trump the Florida Constitution. But we know that this hasn't been achieved through the implementation of Common Core and the weakening of local control of our education system in favor of faceless bureaucrats hundreds, if not thousands, of miles away. And it hasn't been achieved by the Florida legislature with bills like SB 864 that state that you have the constitutional duty and responsibility to select adequate instructional materials and then hamstring you by saying that that choice is limited to Common Core under Next Generation Sunshine State standards. One of the most harmful aspects of Common Core is the high-stakes testing. Teachers are forced to spend a huge chunk of classroom time teaching to the test rather than focus on subject matters and that what matters most, instilling a love of learning. We can't blame teachers, parents, or students for a system set up to fail and to prevent our individual students from gaining the ultimate power, and that power having toppled empires, crumbled walls, and inspired humanity, which is the power of knowledge. The fear expressed by some over this request is unfounded. Our Florida statutes 1003.42 include required instruction for inalienable rights, the equality of all people, the history of African Americans, Hispanics, women, their contributions to society, the civil rights movement. None of that changes with this resolution. But can we not agree that those are the unifying principles that we can handle here at home, rather than being bound like a marionette to the federal strings of politicians like Jeb Bush, one-size-fits-all education standards, and corporatism via the high-stakes testing model that funnels millions of dollars a year from the government to big corporations that for some reason those on the left now seek to defend. Those arguing to keep the status quo are arguing in favor of mediocrity, they're arguing in favor of social engineering, political engineering, they're arguing in favor of moneyed interest and political opportunism. I don't want censorship of books. I don't want censorship of thoughts or ideas. I don't want political or social engineering from any side of the aisle. I want children to be free to learn without their arms tied behind their back, and with teachers free to teach and to foster their individual talents of their students. As a resident of Collier County, I formally request that you take action on this item by adding it to your next meeting agenda for a full and open discussion at that time amongst all parties, and resolving that all appropriate and necessary action be taken by both this board and others to protect standards, curriculum, and individual and community control of education. Thank you.
Thank you.